What's up everyone, welcome back to One Strange Adventure and welcome to the next video. In today's video we're going to be installing RVLocks on our Grand Design RV. So let's get going. Alright, so for those of you who are not familiar with RVLock, this is a keyless entry system. This is the V4. This is going to replace the lock on my front door of my Grand Design RV. For those of you who are not familiar, we do have the Reflection 311 BHS. I know some of you actually have the same model, so if you're looking to replace the locks on there with RVLock, it is the V4 right-handed latch. So this particular one, the RVLock, the V4 series, it retails for $239.99. I did order that. I also ordered an extra key fob so that my wife and I could both have one. The other thing that I ordered was a decal that goes behind the lock because it's a different shape than the one that comes stock on the door. And a lot of times what you'll find is if you have an RV that's painted or has decals on the door, they've cut it or haven't painted behind that. So that decal just helps hide some of those imperfections, as you'll see in just a little while. Also, before we get started, take a moment, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, smash that like button if you can, ring the bell so that you're notified next time One Strange Adventure releases new content. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's take a look at what comes in the box. Alright, so the first thing you'll see is that I have the striker plate. I also ordered a decal since this lock is a different shape than the original. You get some paperwork that goes along with it, along with your key code and the instructions, of course. You'll see one key fob included. I ordered an additional one, that way when my wife and I could both have one. And then you'll see the main handle itself, the locking mechanism. Alright, let's install it. The first thing you'll need to do is remove the 4 screws on the back side, which is the interior of the door. That will give you access to the inside of the handle. The next thing you want to do is take the screws out of the side, the latch plate, so that you can remove that as well. At this point, the handles should be able to come right out the door. You may need to play with it a little bit just to get it out because it is a tight fit. You'll see here that the decal was actually cut because the locking plate was over top of it, and if I put the new one in without that decal, then you can see where it was kind of jagged because the shape is completely different. So now I'm going to install the decal, and that just helps hide any imperfections that were behind the original lock, either in your RV's decals or in the paint itself. I was worried about air bubbles, but once you put the lock on there, you're not going to see any air bubbles in the middle of it anyways. So the next step is just to place it in there. Now it's a little bit of a different shape, so it does make it a little bit more difficult to get that one back in. But just play with it a little bit and make sure that you feed the wiring through so that doesn't get caught up. And you're just going to reverse your steps. So the next thing we'll do is we'll put that latch plate on the side of the door. That'll hold the lock in place. Then you want to plug it in, and you should hear a beep. Now you're going to put the interior piece to the door. You want to make sure that all the latches, all the locking mechanisms line up. And then put the 4 screws in there so that it holds it in place. After those 4 screws are in there, you're done. And of course, you want to test it out. And now it's time to program your key code. Now to program it, you're going to hold the number 8 and the lock button until you hear a long beep. Then you're going to put the old code in, which is 1234, and then very quickly enter your new code. Press lock, enter it one more time, and then press lock again. And now it's time to program your fob. So you turn the switch to the on position and press fob learn. Press the lock button on your key fob and you should hear a beep and it's programmed. Okay, so we've got the locks installed now, and I have to say I absolutely love being able to just press the button and watch the door unlock and press it and watch it lock again. It's definitely going to add another layer of convenience. When you're out RVing, the more tasks or processes you can make easier on yourself, the more enjoyable the experience is. So I would definitely recommend RVLocks. If you are interested in it, then use the promo code STRANGE15 at checkout with RVLock, and that will save you 15%. Okay, so a couple of learnings as I was installing the lock system. One, make sure that you have everything, all the components kind of lined up between the 2 pieces, the outside and the inside piece. Before you start putting your screws in, what happened was I put 1 screw in and then they kind of came apart and one of the latches kind of popped out, but I didn't realize it until I put all 4 screws in. So I had to redo that. So just be careful as you're kind of putting it together and then putting those screws in and getting it set. The other thing I'll say is that you definitely need the decal. As you saw on mine, they actually cut the graphic kind of weird behind the lock itself. And so if I didn't have that decal, it would be showing. And so I would have to order the decal and just avoid all that trouble and go ahead and get one while you're ordering your locks. Okay, so the total install process probably took 15-20 minutes. It would take a lot less time if I wasn't filming it, but I do enjoy being able to provide these experiences to you guys, and hopefully you're more informed as you go into some of these projects on your RVs. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. If you really liked the video, make sure you subscribe. Ring the bell so that you're notified next time One Strange Adventure releases new content. And until the next strange adventure, keep making your own.